Hello, this is Miss Butel, and we're working problems on page 3 of the review. A large group of feral cats were rounded up downtown. The table shows the characteristics: long and short hair, colored or multicolored. Now, I want to point out, and this is where some of you have had a few questions. It says, what percent of cats have solid colored long hair? So the percent of what? Cats. This is our total number of cats right here. So we want to know how many had solid colored long hair. So solid colored is here, long hair is here. So it would be this total of 4 out of 31. Quickly going to a calculator, that would give me 4 divided by 31, enter. That's 12.9%. If you said 13%, I'm okay with that because we didn't tell you in the directions what place to take it to. So 13% would be okay as well. What percent of cats with short hair were solid color? So this time we have this extra preposition in here with short hair. This is modifying cats. Look at that, an English lesson in the middle of math. So it's what kind of cats we're interested in. So for this problem, I'm going to change colors because what percent of cats with short hair? So that means the only cats we're looking at is this column right here. Okay, we're solid color. So solid color is the 10 out of 25. So this is 10 out of 25, which is 0.4, I believe. Let's go ahead and double check my math just because I like to. 10 divided by 25, enter. I'm right, 0.4. So this is going to be 40%. Now, those of you thinking it's only 4%, think again. You've got to float the decimal 2 places, and if you're out of zeros, you have to fill 1 in. So that changes it to 40%. Now, the next question, what percent of multicolored cats have long hair? So now we're not interested in the solid color. We only want to know, oops, the multicolored. I didn't mean to fall off the page here. So this 17 is going to be our total. And what percent have long hair? So here's the multicolored, 2 out of 17, and I have no clue what that is without my best calculator friend. Divided by 17, enter. 0.117, which is actually 0.118, it would round, which is 0.118 or 11.8%. All right, next. All right, so these are very much the same way. So just starting with the first one, what is the percent of the boys that had milk? What percent of the boys that had milk? That I don't even think is necessary. So we're starting with percent of boys. So that tells me I am only interested in this group of people right here. And they had milk. So 4 out of 6 is 0.6 repeating, which would look like this, 66.7%. The next question is, what percent of girls that had juice? So now it's the percent of girls and they had juice. So that's 6 out of 14. Now, I don't know that one off the top of my head, so handy dandy calculator, 6 divided by 14, enter. Okay, 0.4285 or 0.429. which is 42.9%. If you call it, oops, if you call it 43%, I would be okay with that. What percent of the children that chose juice were boys? So percent of children that chose juice. Okay, here's all the juice people. Now, which one were boys? So that would be 2 out of 8. And my spidey sense is tingling. That's 25%, 0.25. So 25%. That was a nice, easy number. I like those. All right, so the last one, what percent of the children? So now this is talking about a grand total because it didn't say of the children that were boys. No, it's of the children that were boys that happened to drink milk. So boys and milk drinkers. Here's the boys, and here's my total. So this one, be careful. It's not 4 out of 6 or 4 out of 12. It's 4 out of the total 20. Okay, this means total children. Okay, so that is 1/5 or 2/10. Yes, 0.2 or 20%. All right, so this next problem, I had done this one once before, and I'm like, you know what? I like my line so much, I could not make a line of best fit any better than this. And I will tell you, I had to guess, okay? Because I'm not 100% sure of where this line goes when they don't give me this nice little XY chart with all the information I need. So I can't put this in a system to see. So what I did is I guessed at a line, and I cannot count yours wrong on here if it's believable. It just needs to be believable. This really looks like it's crossing at 2, and it looks like it's crossing again right here. So my rise over run would be up 2. Here we go, up 2 and over 3. All right, so slope would be rise over run, which is 2/3. Okay, so up 2 over 3 is where I'm going to start with. So I would say it's 2/3 x, and it looks like it's starting at the y-intercept of 2 plus 2. My correlation coefficient, or the R factor, or the R that it's asking for, I'm looking at these dots, and this is a moderate spread of dots, okay? They're not all touching the line. Some of them are. That's going to give me some super high 9s, but these that are further away are going to pull it back some. I would take anything between 0.6 to 0.8. So I'm going to say a 0.7, somewhere in between is my answer. Anything in between these is okay for me. All right, we can talk about linearity. It is linear because you can tell it's making a line. It's moderate. It is not strong because that line does not look like it's created this nice little magnet and all of the points are on it. Direction, it's going up in a positive direction. It's going positive 2 over 3. So it's positive, positive. So as x increases, y is increasing. There we go. Next. All right. So this one, all we have to do is figure out, is this, is each one linear, quadratic, or exponential? Well, it looks pretty obvious that that is linear. This one, if I connect the dots, it looks very much exponential. In fact, that one looks like a growth. Okay, and this one, whoops, not what I wanted to do, sorry. This one looks very much like a parabola, so it's quadratic. And this one is linear. I think my line is out of place. Since I have two linears, let's talk about this one. This is more of negative because it's decreasing as time goes by. Think of this x-axis. Think of this as your timeline. This is slowly decreasing, okay? This one is increasing, so this would be positive. I could give this a quadratic positive, a negative as well because it's opening downward, okay? So I'm okay with that as well. And where did, oh, I was like, why is this underlined? It's because I underlined the words, huh? All right, let's look at one more problem. And I don't need that in the way. I'll get rid of that in a second. Okay, so one more set of problems. Below are 5 scatter plots. Now, I hope you've gotten a little better at this. And I will say, when I go look at A, does it look like we could have a parabola or anything at all going on? There's little dots all over the place. They're little asterisks. They look like little bitty stars. And it looks like somebody may have just taken a paintbrush and flicked a little paint on that square. I don't see anything happening. I'm going to say that's a correlation of 0. But it could even be anywhere between negative 0.3 or 4 or 5, all the way to positive 0.3 or 4 or 5. I don't like my choice here, but I'm going to go with it. You see how this definitely makes a line? I would consider this one more moderate. And I would actually give it a score, if I were going to do so, of a 0.7. I would say it's more moderate, but there's not one up here, a 0.7. So I'm going to have to put that this one is B, being a positive 0.5, because this is going in a positive direction, okay? And you're looking at it, this is going where X is going forward. This graph is increasing. See? This one is decreasing as the X goes forward, and look how close all those points are to making a perfect line. It is not perfect. I would give this about a 0.99, but they didn't have that, and negative 0.99 at that, so that makes this one C. D, definitely straight line, sorry, that is not my best line ever, but as I'm looking at this increase, this is really close to a positive 1. Leaving the last one, I can still tell there's a negative thing going on here. And so as time is passing, this line is going down. So it is a negative. And I would still make this a negative 0.6 or a negative 0.7. Here, we'll split the difference. I would say this would be a better number for it, but the only negative we have is a negative 0.5. So I'm done. Guys, that's it. Number 12 is on a different video. Have a good one.